What's going on, Westerly? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners, Verizon authorized retailer. And right now is the best time to come on in and get a brand new phone. We are offering our hottest new 5G phones, the iPhone 15, the S24 Pixel 8 for free with a trade-in. And the best part is 5G is finally coming down here to Westerly and the surrounding areas. So make sure you're on the best network and get it for free when you're on the right plan. Come see us at 224 Post Road.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Your Time to Thrive podcast. My name is Jason, and I'm your host. And as always, I'm joined by my amazing friend, Benjamin Barber.
Wait. Okay. I was like,
you got it?
I was a little impatient. I admit.
Apparently. I'm going to add that to the list. Impatience.
No, that's a bad one. You don't add that. You only add the positives.
Well, patient isn't on the list.
Nor it should be.
The kind, generous, amazing, and wonderful producer, friend, podcast aficionado, Benjamin Barber. Is that better?
Oh, what up, buddy?
What's going on?
How are you?
I'm good, man.
What's new?
I don't think much new, actually. People ask me that frequently, and I'm grateful to say that there's not a lot new in my world. That's kind of a good thing,
right?
Because as a personal trainer, I really don't want a lot new. I
want
consistency, you know?
Yep.
But I'm grateful for that. Normal life, right? We just got through the Easter weekend, got outside this weekend.
Did you?
Gorgeous. Oh my God.
Sunday. I don't think I really got outside very much this weekend.
It was so nice outside. The kids love to be outside. We love to be outside. Leanne and I are definitely outside people.
By the time I got outside this weekend, it was raining.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Like, I spent a ton of time outside yesterday. It was awful. We did the whole game yesterday. So baseball got canceled yesterday, and we ended up doing lacrosse. And it's one of those things where, like, because of the new turf, we're still able, like, the game's still able to happen, right? It doesn't need to get rained out as long as it's not lightning. And we did it. We had to be inside the box, right? So usually the camera's up top on the field, but the camera had to be inside the box, which is a little difficult for angles and stuff. And then we were like, in the commentary booth, we had the window shut, and Dave was like, I can't hear the game. Like, I can hear you guys, but there's no field noise or anything. So I was like, damn it. So I opened up the window, and it was freezing. And then Greg took my keys home. He had my keys to grab something out of my trunk for a second, took them home.
That's great.
So yeah,
that's
so
great.
I just stood out in the rain for like a long time.
You don't need those
by myself, and my phone was dead. And it was so I had to borrow our intern's phone to get anyway. So I did spend time outside. It was not enjoyable time. You know what? No, that's not true. It was enjoyable time outside, but regardless, anyway.
Not by choice. Not like going for like a walk in the woods or like going to sit and watch a sunset.
No. No, it was a great game though. They won 13-2, defending state champs.
Wow.
Yeah, lacrosse, baby. First time ever watching a lacrosse game.
Really?
Yeah.
Lacrosse is fun.
First time ever watching a lacrosse game, and I commentated it. Like, I've no business commentating a lacrosse game when I've literally never seen the sport before. Did it. I think I did a decent job too.
You are impressive.
You know why?
I'm going to put
you know why I did it? You know why I did a decent job? Because I didn't try to talk about like the mechanics of the game at all. Like, you know what I mean? I can throw in zingers. Like, Greg is a fantastic play-by-play man. 90% of the time he's doing play-by-play and color himself, and he's the analyst. And I'm just like, you know, lacrosse is like a mix between soccer, hockey, football, rugby, and then let's just hit each other with baseball bats and throw a hard ball around. Like, it's the most insane thing I've ever seen. And Westerly's better than everybody else in the state at it. So
apparently,
yeah. Anyway,
go Westerly.
What else did you do this weekend?
Bulldogs. Got outside for a hike.
Okay.
Yeah, we took the dog for a nice long walk. That was pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Hung out with some friends. Ate smart. It was good, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. Celebrated a little bit. We went to the aquarium. Like, we were all over the place.
You guys are always at the aquarium. Well, maybe not. I don't know if you are, but I know Leanne's always at the aquarium.
Yeah.
She lives there. I think she's a fish. She's either at the aquarium or the beach.
We are definitely both water people. We're definitely both outdoor people.
Yeah.
Like love the water, love being outside.
I love the water. This is such a nerdy, this is so nerdy and cringy to say. When I was a kid in the early 90s, there was a season of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There was like a special 7-episode arc or something where like I think they ran out of footage from the Japanese show, which is where they got all of their like battle scenes.
Yeah.
So they had to change the characters up, and they needed like some buffer space between changing the characters. So they licensed another Power Rangers version from Japan that was called Aqua Rangers. And these Rangers like were fish people that lived in water. And so they were human, like humans. They were aliens, but they were like humans, but they lived in water and they got all their power from water. And I was like, I want to be that when I grow up. Like,
right?
Like 6-year-old me was like, if I could only be an Aqua Ranger. I just love I never want to get out of the water when I'm in it.
Yeah.
Like I am a child when it comes to water. I'm totally a water person.
That's awesome. But it's a freeing thing. It really is when you're in the water. If you don't have, and this will lead us in actually, if you don't have fear of it, right?
Yes.
Like I know people that have fear of the ocean, fear of the depth, fear of what's out there. But I've always found the water to be freeing.
Well, to be fair, I'm afraid of the ocean. The ocean is big and powerful, and I'm afraid of it. But you know, I like pools. I like ponds. I like the ocean. I love looking at the ocean. The ocean is one of my favorite places to be. But going into the ocean, very scary. Very scary. Especially it feels like riptides are getting worse and worse every year, and that's a no-go for Ben.
Yeah, that's a smart fear to have. That's a humble fear, not a bad fear.
Yeah, Leanne says love the ocean, but respect it.
Yes, exactly. Like a humble fear, like have respect for what is more powerful than you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Respect that.
Anyway.
So we're talking today.
Talk about love and fear.
Love or fear, because our choices in our life is defined by how you choose. Right?
Yeah.
Like where you choose from. Right. And that's either love or fear. You're either making a choice out of positive or negative, essentially. Like you're either reactionary or you're proactive. This is obviously relating to fitness, but we're going to talk a little bit about the psychological side of it. I read this quote the other day, and I've got a couple quotes today because this really is a poignant topic for me, because I've made a lot of decisions in my life in the past through fear.
Yeah.
Fear of the outcome, fear of failure, fear of perception, lots of insecurity, decision making, right?
Yep.
And that's common. Right? A lot of people make those choices like that. And I've learned through therapy and through coaching and through bad choices that there are better ways, right? There are different ways of choosing. And we've talked about like the perspective of glass half full and glass half empty. It's basically that thought, right? I'm going to look at the world and I'm going to choose out of something that's going to be beneficial and successful and not momentarily scary, right?
Right.
So that's my goal, is to step through that. But this quote came up that really resonated because it relates to the fitness world. And it's this 3 C's of life: choices, chances, and changes.
Oof.
Right? You must make a choice to take a chance or your life will never change. And in my world, I'm working with people that want to make a change. You know, people come to me generally because they're looking to affect a change in their life. And the hard part is to choose better, to choose different. What I always say, and we say it at the gym all the time, that the hard part is choosing to come down, right? Like if you made the choice to come down the steps, you came into the gym, that's literally the hardest part of the workout. Like getting past that initial insecurity and that initial thought process is one of the hardest parts. So I always commend people for that. But fear should be like the ocean, which is one of the reasons I love that analogy. It should be respected, right? Like if we come to a decision-making point, we should recognize that there's a reason that we've stopped, essentially.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then that's where you get to decide, what is my response to this? Like, where am I coming from?
Why am I afraid?
Yeah.
The why is, I mean, the why you love something and why you're like, why is such a powerful question. And I think that is something that we overlook a lot, especially when a lot of times I think that we subconsciously are making choices out of fear or love. I think that we're subconsciously just making choices all the time, right? Like living on purpose is such a daunting task because we're hardwired to uh just react, and we're hardwired to there are so many things like your like conditioning and genetics and past trauma and subconscious, and only thing like all of those things, do we have free will, or are we just a collection of our gut microbiome and the stuff in our bodies, like making the chemicals, making choices for us of like whether or not we're going to be addicted to something, or eat something that we shouldn't, or not do something. Like there are so many different things that living on purpose is actually incredibly difficult to do. And I think the only thing that you can do to pattern interrupt that is to think about the choices that you make and try to live on purpose for that. And Leanne has another comment here. The only thing to fear is fear itself. So many things makes us anxious as we fear the unknown. Oh, I'm anxious all the time. You kidding me? I'm anxious right now. I'm actually not that anxious right now, but I could be anytime now.
I was going to say that actually, because here's the piece, because I agree with you 100% that living unconsciously is how most people exist, right? Because they are responding to their chemical reactions that are making their brain patterns function the way that they're used to. That rut of habit, that rut of consistency that we've always done is so easy to fall into, right? It is oftentimes the easiest step is what we know, what we're comfortable with. It's safe. Yeah, that's a definite reality. Go ahead.
I got 9.5 hours of sleep last night.
You came in full of piss and vinegar. Yes.
Can you tell?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Let me ask you, you came in full of piss and vinegar today. Like you were fired up today. You got all kinds of ideas. You're thinking forward, right? Like you're thinking about what you can do to create the life that you really want, because you feel like where you are now, and I know you, is where you wanted to be for a while. And you've got this, like you're right at the edge of that wave. When you're body surfing, it's one of my favorite things in the ocean, is to body surf and not take a boogie board, like literally just you. Because boogie board, you can almost just stop in front of the wave and it'll project you, right? It'll take you because of the flotation power of that board. But when you actually have to paddle yourself and try and catch the speed of the wave so that your body carries with the wave, there's effort and intention behind that on your part. But then there's this moment where the wave pushes you forward. You can feel the power of the wave push you forward. There are moments in my life that I've felt that. There are lots of moments actually that I've felt like there's something behind me. There's something more than me. There's something more than just my thoughts and my intentions, that you're moving forward the way you're supposed to. Like there's this moment where you don't have to paddle. Like you've paddled a little bit, you've kicked a little bit. Now the wave takes you, and now you can just straighten out and just enjoy the ride. I could see that on your face today. Like you woke up with this like forward momentum, which means that you're not choosing out of fear. You're literally ignoring those little voices, the little bastard on our shoulder that's like, you could fail, or you don't want to do that, or like whatever that shit talker is, right?
Yeah.
You've actually gotten up and thought, no, I can do this.
Right.
How's it feel?
Tiring. I'm ready to go back to sleep. I want 9.5 more hours right now. Right now. You know what? I'm done.
Your body's not used to it.
I'm done.
When was the last time you got that much sleep?
I don't know. When I had COVID, like a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you just sleep.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, I can't think of another time that and then before that was probably like the early days of going to Anytime Fitness 10 years ago, 12 years ago, where I would like I was so out of shape, and I was so done that like I would go do a 45-minute workout, and I'd go home and have to nap.
And just be done.
Yeah. And then I think those nights I would not the nap. The nap wasn't 9.5 hours. That's not a nap. But those nights I think that I slept really really soundly. But no, it's been a long time since I didn't have a reason to not that I didn't have a reason to get up. The thing is I didn't like sleep in today.
No.
I got up at 6:30,
Yeah.
but I fell asleep at
Like a normal
9.
time. You actually
Like,
went to bed at like a normal time.
I was just I had so many things to do. I got home at like 8:40 last night from the game. And I was like, I mean, there's so many things I'm going to do. Like I set up my laptop and I was like, I'm going to watch a documentary. I didn't even put the TV on. Like I was like, I was like, I know that I'm tired, but I need to get this stuff done. So I put my laptop in bed with me. And I like turned the TV on and I like opened the laptop and then I shut the laptop and because I just went like, and I was like, let's just go to sleep. Let's just go to sleep. So like, yeah, I was asleep before 9:30, I think. And that's kind of crazy. And I woke up and there was like walls of texts from Jackie because she's a night owl. And like, I'm like, sorry.
Yeah. Have you like this is something that's repeatable, right? Like we have that FOMO thing, not necessarily like fear of missing out, but that fear of not getting enough done in the day, right? Like that. I know I've shut down and been like, oh, I could have gotten more done, but you have to accept the fact. And somebody told me this a long time ago, like desk job, like you're always going to have an inbox. Like there's always going to be more laundry. There's always going to be dishes. There's always going to be something you can clean at the house. There's always going to be other phone calls you can make, but you're no good to yourself or the people in your life if you're not shutting down and resetting. Like you psychologically, emotionally, physically, your whole body needs to reset. And that's why we sleep. We do sleep for like a third of our lives, but there's a reason for that.
I never want to think about that. Don't ever say that to me again. Don't ever say that we sleep for a third of our lives again because I don't like it. I want that third back. At least extend it for me.
Remember, it's quality, not quantity.
No. Like if we're gonna live, like if we usually live, I don't know. I know that it's like 75 years or whatever the average human lifespan. But like, say you get 90, right? Give me 120. Give me 120. If we're gonna sleep for a third of it, give me to 120.
But what's the quality at the end there, right?
It's going to be great. The quality's going to be great.
You slept 9.5 hours.
I'm saying I'll sleep 8 hours a day.
You just want to live to 120.
I'll sleep 8 hours a day. Somebody send me a contract that I'm going to live till 120.
I'm going to do some research on the sleep study stuff and find for you that you actually do have a better life expectancy when you get enough sleep.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because you need it. Like, your computer, right? Which is just it is a start and stop, right? There's a mechanics to it. It doesn't have as much dynamic life capacity as we do as humans. Like we can feed ourselves almost anything and still sustain life.
Yep.
If you don't put power into that through the electrical cord, it's not going to turn on, right? So it's got like limits. Your computer needs to shut down. If you leave your laptop on perpetually, it's not good for it, right?
Yes. My MacBook that I use every single day, like for everything, my MacBook was in my backpack from Saturday to this morning.
Powered down.
I opened it and I'm like, why are these texts so old? Why are my iMessages so old? And I'm like, it was Holy Week. Like I had 5 church services this weekend. And I'm like, oh, I did all of them on the other computer. Like I never even opened this. So it was kind of crazy, but yeah. So anyway, the other thought that I had was, I don't remember. What do we got? I have so Fear and Love though. Fear and Love. One of my favorite songs. Probably like one of my top 5 musical theater songs ever that I love is from a show called Tick, Tick, Boom, which is an autobiographical musical written by Jonathan Larson, the guy who wrote Rent,
Yeah.
and
recognize that name.
died before Rent's opening night. Tragically, he wrote a show about himself turning 30 that he never finished, and was finished posthumously, was rearranged and stuff posthumously for 3 people. And there's a song at the end called Louder Than Words, and the chorus of it is fear or love, baby, don't say the answer, actions speak louder than words. And yeah, Tick Tick Boom. Yep. Yeah, it's now a movie with Andrew Garfield as Jonathan Larson.
Yes.
Yeah,
I saw that previewed.
It's fantastic. So that's right. I forgot that a lot of people know what Tick Tick Boom is now because it was a major movie. Directed, I believe, by Lin-Manuel Miranda. But yeah, so that Fear or Love has been in the back of my mind for 20 years since I heard that. And it really is, it's like I've heard it said that it's the opposite sides of the same coin.
100%.
Because it's the two most drastic emotions.
100%.
So,
and that's a really good point, because there are gradations of it, right? Like, it's not just black and white. You're not just making decisions out of fear. You're not just making decisions out of love. You're trying to turn the ship, right? Like when we talk about habit forms in the gym, I always tell people, you're not going to 180. There are lots of people that can 180 some things in their life. There are lots of people that can make hardline decisions, quit cold turkey, that kind of thing. But most people need enough pressure to be able to change the direction on the steering wheel that it's consistent. You're going to do a gentle, gradual turn of the steering wheel, because our mental thought process, our neuromuscular systems, your patterns of your life, all the choices you make, like how you walk, how you wake up, whether or not you hit the snooze button, whether or not you choose food through desire for better or not, like we're habit-based, that is all very, very deep truck tire ruts in your system.
Yep.
And in order to change that, you do need to jerk the wheel a little bit, but most people are going to fall back into that rut faster if they're doing quick jerks, right? Like, if you can make adjustments, you can make small steps. It means being conscious, like you said, like consciously thinking, all right, so I'm worried about tomorrow, or I'm thinking about my choices tomorrow, or I'm worried about this new step with work. Whether it's you're going to move in careers, you're going to move in your home, or you're going to move your body differently. That's a new thought process. And the reason and the why, like you said, which is beautiful, because you're absolutely correct. The why is where we should go, right? Like, why am I doing this? I'm doing it because I'm afraid of what's going to happen, or am I going to accept the fact that thought is what's scary? It's not the actual action.
Right.
Like what you talked about, some of those action points that we just discussed.
Yeah.
Those are not scary to do.
Right.
The fear is the failure of what might happen, right? Like the why is so you create freedom of time and energy in your life.
Right.
Right. That's a beautiful reason.
Yep.
If you focus on that side of it, then the fear absolutely goes away, because you want that. You want that freedom. You want that time and energy in your life. And if I'm afraid of failure in this, or afraid this isn't going to work the way I need it to, or afraid it's not going to be successful for me, then, and that's the way I'm making my decision making, and I'm choosing from that, then that's what I'm focused on, as opposed to why, because this will create this for me.
Right.
I heard this great quote the other day that said, fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. Right?
Yeah.
Like it looks like an ocean.
Yeah.
Like when you think about making those choices and those changes, it looks huge and vast and scary as hell as the ocean looks, right?
Yep.
But sometimes you could just step in and it's pretty shallow, right? Like there's sandbars out on our beaches, and you can walk past the breaker sometimes and be up to your knees. That's not scary at all.
Right.
And that's pretty amazing, because we have beautiful beaches, right? To be able to enjoy the ocean, get your feet wet like that, just make those choices. But the literal analogy of this is what steps we take when we step into that fear a little bit. You realize as you take that first step, you're like, oh, wait, that's not as deep as I thought it was.
Right.
It looked deep. It looked scary. My brain told me it was going to be scary.
Everything worth having in life is on the other side of fear.
I love that one. I love that one.
And
it
hard
is.
fear and hard work.
It is. Because it's life-changing.
Right.
There's a reason that you're responding to it like that. But if you can stop, I said this to somebody the other day because they were off balance and they just kept falling forward. I said, listen, here's the best advice I ever heard from a continuing ed seminar about aging population training. And when people are balanced or off balance, if somebody's older, biggest fear is falling, right?
Right.
If you find yourself off balance, whether it's physically because you're training or like emotionally, psychologically, if you feel off balance, stop. Just stop. Stop moving and reset. Right? Like literally like freeze, like catch yourself, grab something if you need to, but stop. And then think about it. Like, why am I stopping at this moment? Like, what's catching me? What am I afraid of? Because then you can consciously choose. But we just blunder through things all the time. Just get up and run forward.
I'll be honest with you. I had a moment of that last night.
How so?
So after the game, we were taking all of the equipment down and it was downpouring.
Yeah.
And we were coming from the top of the stadium. No, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Top
Bleachers.
of the bleachers down. And they're metal bleachers in the pouring rain.
Really
It's
safe.
freezing cold out.
Very safe.
And I have, for some reason, decided to take 2 heavy backpacks and put both of them on my back. So I look like I have a giant turtle shell on my back, right? Because there's a bunch of equipment. There's like camera equipment in one, sound equipment in the other, and they are huge, thick backpacks that weigh 50 pounds. And they're both on my back, and I'm walking slowly down this thing because I'm like, I'm not falling down these at 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night with nobody here to see it. And I'm like, the railing is wet, and and I get all the way down to the bottom of it, and I turn to the left to walk, and the weight on my backpacks turn me, like over rotate me.
Yeah.
And I slip on the water, and it wasn't a big thing. It was maybe like half an inch too much.
It was enough.
But it made my equilibrium go like, whoa, for a second. And I just, instead of getting anxious, I just stopped for a second and grabbed the railing next to me and went, okay, you're fine. And then walked. But it was like, take a second. What just happened? It was a split second, but it was like, what just happened? You're fine. You put 50 pounds of weight on your back and it's sticking out. And the wind took, like, not the wind, but like the momentum took you, and you're like, you're fine. And then you keep walking. And but yeah, it was a moment where I was like, am I gonna fall? Am I dizzy? What's happening? And I'm like, you're not dizzy, you idiot. You have, I should have been kinder to myself, I know. But like, I'm like, no, you're not dizzy. You're fine. You just have something on your back. Like, but I completely forgot that I had something on my back. And I was like, you lean forward when you walk downstairs and stuff. So I was leaning forward and I just turned my body to the left too much and, overdid it. But yeah, I literally I grabbed the railing for a second to the right of me and I was like, okay, go.
That's all it takes. It really is all it takes.
Yeah.
Because we're so afraid of losing the momentum or like getting caught behind things, or we're just, like I said, we're just bumbling forward. But that split second, that just to check that for a second, that's what I've always said to people as far as our nutritional choices. Because, this choice out of fear or choice out of love, this relates to everything. And the food side of the fitness industry is one of the most challenging, right?
Yep.
But we're so accustomed to eating what we always eat, and it might be good, it might be bad. You have to make that choice. But if you have time to recognize where you are in that thought process, then you can make the changes. Because sometimes you get done eating something and you think, I shouldn't have eaten all that.
Right.
Or I shouldn't have eaten that.
Right.
Like we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, actually, about just without thinking about stopping and grabbing something to eat.
Yes.
Like, and then you realize the one point you're like, oh crap, I shouldn't have eaten that.
Yeah.
The steps back from that are to be conscious about our choice. Like you, at some point along the way, you're like, I don't want to continue to eat this. Right. And then I don't want to start eating this, and then back a little bit further. I don't want to buy this, or I don't want to grab this. And then before that, it's like, I don't want to go get that. And then you make a better choice at the beginning where you say, I'm going to eat this so that I don't have to get all the way through all of that.
Yeah.
Right. But that's that conscious decision because you've caught yourself. Those are those small steps.
There was we got, Monday was Jackie and I's anniversary, and we got something for dinner, and we were going to go out to like a nice restaurant, and then she didn't feel well, so we ordered like cleats, and
Which
it was
is
great.
good
It was
food.
great. Yeah. And she got like the plain burger, and she was like, this is the best burger you could have, just
Good
plain.
burgers.
It was literally just the gourmet by itself. I was like, the no lettuce and tomato, and she was like, it's literally just a patty. That's all I could feel like I could handle right now. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, you didn't feel well, that's what you wanted. Great. Like, okay, cool. But the point of this story is that when she was done, like we were watching a movie or something on the couch, and when she was done, she was like, do you want the rest of my fries? Like, I'm not going to finish these. Will you eat these fries? And I literally just went, no, throw them away. Like, I don't care, which I don't usually, like, I would normally just be like, yeah, sure. Like,
Right.
you know, and she's usually like, well, let's not like waste these. Like, why don't you just eat them? And I'm like, okay, yeah, like it's like not calorically almost not important, right? Like, it's not a full serving of fries. It's not 500 calories of fries. It's
right.
You know, something, but not a lot. Like maybe 120 calories worth of fries.
It was
left.
what was left.
It was what was left, right? But I was like, no, I already ate. I don't want to eat anything else tonight. I already told myself I was done.
Yeah.
No. And that little thing was like, don't buy it. Don't put it in your house. Don't do that if you don't want to eat it. Like,
Yeah.
And I saw I watched a Men's Health video of like the Gym and Fridge series.
Yeah. Who was it?
Jeff Garlin. The only ones that I really ever watch on those are like Kevin Smith, Jeff Garlin, like you know, comedy dudes who were fat and lost weight. And because I don't really care what the Rock's Fridge and Gym are like. Like, that's not for me.
Valid.
That's not for me.
It's not for any of us.
But I'm like, all right, what's the dude who made someone to eat cheese with? Like, what's his Gym and Fridge situation look like right now? And he said something very interesting in it, which was like, I'm either sober or not sober. Not like food wise. He was like, it's the same thing as like, I'm either drinking alcohol or I'm not drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, I'm either going to, they asked him if he had cheat days. He was like, I don't have cheat days. I'm either sober or not sober when it comes to food. I can't handle it. This is what I need to do. So I do this specifically. And you know, and I try not to deviate from that.
Yeah.
Do I have pizza every once in a while? Yeah, I'll have a couple slices of pizza every once in a while, but you know, this is what I don't do. And I was like, the sober versus not sober thing hit me. Like, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. You know, it's that kind of stuff is often talked about in the fitness industry because there's like just talking specifically about the cheat day, right? You have to know yourself, right? Like, are you going to be able to have some ice cream and then go back tomorrow and not have ice cream? Like, if you can do that, then you can have it in the house. If you know that you can't, then that's a really important piece.
Yep.
You know, everybody has to figure out their path.
But I did also find like, I want to try Nick's ice cream, which is like a keto ice cream that has like a ridiculous amount less of calories. So there are some things that like I see and I'm like, okay, I want to try, like, I want to make better choices of that. There's one guy that I followed recently on YouTube. His shorts are awesome. He's like, you could eat this cheeseburger, or for the same amount of calories, you could eat these 2 massive cheeseburgers. And then he's like, this is the recipe. And he shows you how to make it real quick. Or he's like, you could eat this donut, or you could eat this entire platter of strawberries with chocolate.
Right.
Like, and it was like, oh, cool. Those are some good alternatives to that. And a lot of these things are like, I'm in a holding pattern right now. This show, by the way, is the only thing that I've ever stated publicly that I'm moving. I've only said it on this show, so I'll say it again on this show for people that it's canon in the Your Time to Thrive universe.
We have a universe.
Yeah, we do.
It's a small universe.
It is. We have characters like Michael.
I feel like it's more of a room
My,
than a universe.
no, it's a universe.
My alter ego.
Solar
Michael.
system. Anyway, so the but I'm in a little bit of a holding pattern of like, okay, well, these are my plans for when I have a full kitchen to use at my disposal all the time, and this is my income, and this is my strategy for this, and this is what I'm going to do with this. And like, I'm tying up a bunch of loose ends right now, and I'm doing a bunch of things, and there's like a lot of change, but there's, what's the third C? There's a lot of changes going on. There's a lot of choices going on.
Chances.
And there's a lot of
changes.
There's a lot of changes and a lot of choices. There's not a lot of chances, but I am like the actual thing is taking a chance.
These are all chances.
Okay, you tell me.
You have a chance right now in your life to create the life you've always wanted.
Yes, that's a great way to frame that.
It is. It's like the Rogan quote, "Be the hero in your own story," right? Like, you have. I'm honored to be in your life anyway, but to be in your life during this time right now is fucking incredible, because this is literally the stepping point in your world where you get to move into what you've always wanted, what you've always thought, what you've always believed, and the person that you really are. Right. But there's been a lot of stuff that's held you back. There's been a lot of things that you have allowed to take over for you because you're a self-sacrificer. You care about a lot of people, and you care deeply about other people's successes and happiness.
Not anymore.
So not
anymore. I don't care about anybody. You can clip this. I don't care about anybody. Okay. Not anymore. No more nice Ben. Okay.
No more nice Ben.
I don't care about your success. I don't care about your failures. I don't care about you.
Asshole.
I do not care about you. Ben does not care about you.
The beautiful part.
I only care, as Lois says, God's plan. I only care about myself. All right. I'm in it for me, baby.
Here's the best part. The truth is, you get to continue to be that amazing person you are, who puts himself out there and takes care of other people in front of himself. But you also get to take advantage of the opportunities that are being presented to you right now to actually take care of yourself too.
Very true.
I coach people all the time about this. You got to put the airline mask on your face first, right? I've flown enough that I'm one of those people that like starts reading and plugs in the headphones when they start doing that safety thing. But it's poignant. You have got to take care of yourself first. If you're not sleeping, if you're not drinking enough water, if you're not eating real food, no matter who you are on this planet, whether you're somebody that is self-sacrificing all day long and just volunteering their entire life to somebody else.
Oh, that's me. Oh, no,
that's kidding. But you did for a long time. I know how hard you worked coming out of COVID, and like through the process of COVID, like how hard you worked and how much you were like, yeah, no problem. I can do that for you. And people are super grateful for that. You are known in this community as somebody that puts himself out there for other people, and you've always been. But this is a turning point in your life, and I'm psyched to see it.
Well, thank you, man. And now I have to feign humility.
That's not like I'd like to thank the Academy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But remember though, like that piss and vinegar that you came in with this morning, that feeling of possibility, that instead of the fear of failure, the fear of choice, the fear of decision, the thought that, hey, I could do this.
Yeah.
For yourself.
Yeah.
And still feed the the creatures in the world, right? Like still be able to take care of those pieces. Be like, all right, so if I do this, it takes care of me, but it also takes care of all these other pieces that are bouncing around in your world.
Right.
It's pretty freaking awesome.
Word.
So I've got a great quote today.
All
We've
right.
talked about this before.
Hit me.
Don't
Don't actually hit me. But
No, I won't. I couldn't reach you from over here anyway.
it's true.
And I've seen you punch. I wouldn't try and mess with you. I miss boxing with you.
the last person I punched in the face, because I have punched somebody in the face once, was I think 6th grade. I think I've punched 2 people in the face in my entire life, and I think it did not end well for me in either scenario. I got into one fight in school. I punched a kid in the face. He was way bigger than me, and then people held me. It was rough. So no, I would never punch anyone
Let's
in
be
the
clear.
face.
Punching anybody doesn't work out well.
It
for
doesn't work out.
anybody.
It doesn't
You
work
get-
out. From my
you get hurt.
experience, it doesn't.
Yeah,
It doesn't
you
work
get
out.
hurt punching somebody. If you punch somebody with your fist, you're going to get hurt.
The
Anyway.
other time, I think I was like 5. I think I was like 5 years old, and the neighbor like said something to me, and I punched him, and then like I'm pretty sure
Got-
I got beaten up
Yeah, you
both
got in
times.
trouble for that too.
I got in trouble and I got beaten up. Like, violence doesn't solve anything, kids.
No, not at all.
And or adults or
Yeah.
just whoever you are. Violence doesn't solve anything.
And knowing is half the battle.
All right, what's the quote?
Martin Luther King Jr. You do not have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. I've always liked that quote.
That is a good quote.
I love that quote.
No, I messed my hair. My hair was already messed up.
That's
That
okay.
was
At least you have hair. I'm going to put that in. Not hairless.
That's true. That's true.
Hairy.
I do have it's the one thing that I have. It's going gray slightly, like faster and faster, as you can see here. But what?
That continues.
Yeah,
That doesn't slow down.
but that's fine because what's really interesting is that, and this is going to sound terrible, I am friends on social media with a bunch of like kids that have come through theater and stuff that
doesn't sound terrible.
that
That sounds
no.
awesome.
What I'm about to say
Oh.
sounds terrible. I'm friends with a bunch of people who are adults now, who were kids who came through theater with us and stuff, right?
That's
And
cool.
they're like now, some of them are like 30, but like when they were my students, which is not like there's not much of an age difference between us now,
Yeah.
right? But like I was 25 and they were in high school and whatever, and I was their teacher, and I'm like, some of them, not everybody. And if you're thinking it's you, it's not you. I'm like, oh wow, like you're like, oh yeah, they've gotten a little bit older, right? And then you see it, and I'm like, some of them have like fairly excessive receding hairlines, and I'm like, still got the hairline of a 17-year-old baby. It's going gray, and the rest of me looks terrible, but the hairline,
You
it's the one
celebrate.
thing I got.
You celebrate what you got, my friend. You
It's
got
the
a
one
nice
thing I
head of
got.
hair.
I got a hairline. It doesn't stay like I think I might be the only person where my hair looks worse after I get out of the shower because it's so fluffy. Like it's rough, but the hair's all I got. So anyway, going back to something serious, you don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step.
Yeah.
That's profound. As most things that man said are.
Agreed.
But it's scary. It's scary to not see the whole staircase.
Yeah. But that's all you can do.
Yeah, like I get like you don't have to see the whole path, but a staircase is like that's a climb.
Life is a climb.
That's a climb.
Your choices are a climb. They're always going to be. Remember, that's the David Goggins quote. You choose your hard, right?
Yep.
Like it's hard to make choices. It's hard to take that first step, but it's also hard to remain unhappy. It's hard to remain frustrated. It's hard to remain stagnant. That's the slow death, right? That's the one piece that is what will kill you faster is just sitting in your life and not choosing better, not choosing more, not choosing different, not choosing yourself, not choosing what you deserve. There's a good note for us to finish on. Huh?
Damn, dude. You should have a podcast or a show
at
or
some
something.
point. We should talk about this kind of stuff
Yeah.
live somewhere,
So-
or record it wherever you are, folks and friends.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for being a part of the podcast. If you got a chance to throw something in on us here, if you didn't, then please do so in the future. We do record this, so you can listen to us live or record it currently. Whatever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much, folks. I appreciate you. Ben, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. And go out there, friends. Make the right choices for yourself that you deserve. Have a great and healthy day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
Experience local excellence with Roofright Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roofright specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roofright is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, it's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop into Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
Hot summers and cold winters can be unbearable, but D&V Mechanical has the solution for you. As a Mitsubishi Diamond dealer, we provide energy-efficient and personalized comfort solutions for your home. Our experienced technicians will install your new system quickly and efficiently, ensuring your complete satisfaction. Don't suffer through another season of discomfort. Contact D&V Mechanical today for a personalized ductless mini-split installation that fits your lifestyle. D&V Mechanical, your comfort is our top priority. The Thirsty Beaver Hometown Pub and Grub in Dunn's Corners is your ultimate destination for refreshing drinks, delectable dishes, and memorable moments with family and friends. Enjoy live music, DJ trivia every Wednesday night, and we're now the official spot to come watch and root for your favorite Westerly High School sports teams. The Thirsty Beaver, located at 265 Post Road, Spindrift Village, Westerly.
What's going on, Westerly? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners, Verizon Authorized Retailer. And right now is the best time to come on in and get a brand new phone. We are offering our hottest new 5G phones, the iPhone 15, the S24 Pixel 8 for free with a trade-in. And the best part is 5G is finally coming down here to Westerly and the surrounding areas. So make sure you're on the best network and get it for free when you're on the right plan. Come see us at 224 Post Road.